Hey everyone, what is going on? And yes, I did win the whole Boulder tournament. Now, for some reason, the first two battles, because we had 11 people in the tournament, and we had, so we played 4 battles basically, and fortunately, the first 2 battles did not record. I don't know why. I did record them. They didn't save, or unless if it just takes a while to save and they're still saving or whatnot, and I'll get the videos later. If that's the case, I'll edit them into this video. And, but yeah, for some reason, they didn't record, so this is the 3rd battle. Now, I'm undefeated. I won the first 2 matches, so I am in the 3rd match, going up with my Medicham. Now, I didn't really know what to expect, because he does have a Gligar. Now, Gligar could be annoying because of the fighting types, but I know I do have the Ice Punch, and I know that he knows I have the Ice Punch. So, of course, that's going to get him to burn the shields, and that's good. That's what I was hoping for. I knew he wasn't going to let his Gligar go down that quick. So, yeah, that's why I decided to do that. To go for the Ice Punch, and I did use a shield just because I wanted to get another Ice Punch off, and we do go ahead, and I believe this knocks it out. No, actually it doesn't. Really showing the bulk on that Gligar. I feel like Gliscor would be better. I think Gliscor is pretty decent, but the Gligar actually put in some work, so it actually is doing a decent amount to me, but we do get another Ice Punch off against him. We're able to knock out that Gliscor. He told me that he was clicking on his charge move. He almost had it before me, but we're actually able to get it out. Unfortunately, not another Ice Punch. Would have done a lot of damage to that Prelude, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to go and switch into Skarmory, because Skarmory is completely going to demolish this Prelude. Now, I actually have Prelude as my 6th Pokemon for the Boulder Cup, but I didn't use it in this tournament because there were not many Pokemon that I was facing, like Swampert and Whiscash. I didn't really face many of those. I did face them, I did see them, but not many. So I had no need for Breloom from what I've noticed. So he does call out Tyranitar's his last Pokemon. Tyranitar's completely going to get destroyed by Hitmonchan because of the fighting move. We don't even need that charge move, so we're able to take game 1. Now it is best 2 out of 3, so we do go ahead and win game 1 against this guy. So that's definitely nice. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go on to game 2. But yeah, I decided not to speed this up just because we only have we don't have the whole tournament, unfortunately. So we go ahead, take a look at his team. His team is Kabutops, Gligar, Piloswine, Tyranitar, Breloom, and Metagross. So a pretty interesting team. Some Pokemon when I was practicing for the Boulder Cup I haven't seen. So some I didn't really know what to expect for them, but yeah, I go ahead and I decided to go and look at my Boulder Cup team, and I do recommend nicknaming them Boulder Cup or Boulder or something, just so it's easy to search for them, so you don't have to like really, worry about them or whatnot. I'm going to be doing that for the Twilight Tournament. I do have some ideas for the Twilight Tournament. I can't wait to have practice battles of that. If you're excited for the Twilight Cup next month, leave a thumbs up because I am certainly excited for that. So I decided to lead with my Hitmonchan. He leads with Metagross. Now, Metagross could be a little bit annoying. I assume this Metagross had Meteor Mash, so I wasn't as concerned. If it had Psychic, obviously it would have been a lot worse against my Medicham, but we're able to charge up that Fire Punch, and we do get the Fire Punch off, which is going to force him to use a shield, because I believe he knows I have the Fire Punch at this point, and of course Fire Punch would have just knocked out that Metagross. And he goes ahead, and as I was correct, he does have that Meteor Mash. Now, Meteor Mash actually did a lot more than I thought to Medicham. It did a load of damage. It knocked me out. So, yeah, really showing the strength on that Metagross with the Meteor Mash. So, really powerful move. Had I known it would have knocked me out, I would have blocked it. I probably should have known that, but Dynamic Punch, which is going to force him into his last shield. Now, I am going to shield because, as I said, Meteor Mash did do a lot of damage to Hitmonchan, enough to knock it out, and I didn't want it to knock out Medicham. So, I'm going to charge up to Dynamic Punch, and because he has no shields left, I know that this is going to knock out because it's neutral. So, even though it's a Psychic type, which definitely is a good Pokemon, it's still Steel, and Dynamic Punch does a lot of damage, so it's going to knock it out. And we do have another Ice Punch immediately ready to go. That's how fast Medicham can charge up. So, Psycho Cut for the win, which is my fast move, does almost enough to knock it out. So right now I'm feeling pretty good about my situation, enough to get another Ice Punch. I was actually going to save the charge move, but I was like, well, I don't want him to get a charge move and knock my Medicham out before I can knock it out. But that's okay. He does go with his Gliscor, and we're actually able to get that Ice Punch off. Can you believe that? The guy, I think, was getting annoyed at me. He was like, how do you get that Ice Punch off, But that does more than half the damage to that Gligar. So, we're going to switch into our final Pokemon, which is Skarmory, and at this point, Skarmory cannot, Gliscor cannot do anything to Skarmory, basically, so Skarmory is just going to tank all these hits. We didn't even need the shield, because it wouldn't have done much damage. This area ace would have literally done nothing, but we might as well use it because we have it, right? So, you know, so we're able to get off a Sky Attack, and that Sky Attack is able to finish off that Gliscor. And, yeah, I'm going to be making videos of the Twilight Cup just to show you, just to, yeah, give you some ideas of what you can use. I have some pretty good ideas. I can't wait to make videos of that. But let me know who you want to use for the Twilight Cup. So we're going into the final match. Both of us were undefeated. This is the final match. Whoever won this won it all. So I just look at his team: Poliwrath, Flygon, Medicham, Magneton, Whiscash, and Skarmory. So pretty solid team. Magneton is really good. I assume it's a counter to the Skarmory. You know, my counter to Skarmory is Melmetal, but yeah, so I look at my team. I really didn't know. I just went in with Skarmory and the two fighters. And yeah, so this is actually a good friend of mine, really good guy. He does a lot for the Pokemon Go community where I live, around where I live. So, very happy to fight him in the final match. We were actually not me, but like a lot of people there were predicting that it was going to be me and him in the finals, which might not have been the case had, you know, I faced somebody, had I faced him prior to the finals, of course, then we wouldn't have faced in the finals, which could have happened, but it didn't happen. So I get off my Sky Attack. That, he did block that, right? I don't think the shield showed up. I felt like I didn't have to block because I didn't think he would have done a lot of damage. And it wasn't a lot of damage, but it was enough to get me down to half. It didn't do half, but it got me down to half. So, you know, I was okay with taking that damage. And he gets off another one. I do decide to block this because I would have been in the red had I not blocked it. I would have survived that Water Pulse, but it would have been very close. And I wanted to get off this Sky Attack to either burn his final shield or to knock him out. And it didn't knock him out, but it did do a lot of damage where I'm able to finish him off before he gets off another charge, I believe. No, he does get off that charge. That Whiscash is charging like a madman, you know. So I did go ahead and use the shield because I know I have the Sky Attack for his final, or for his next Pokemon, which is going to be Flygon. So I do go ahead and use that Sky Attack. I use, yeah, that charge move. And I did want to use a Flygon for this tournament, actually, but Skarmory completely walls it. Can't do much. Flygon cannot do much to Skarmory with, like, Dragon Claw, you know, or whatnot. But of course, since I'm low, he's going to knock me out, of course, absolutely. So, yeah, I decided to go in, I believe I go in with the, yeah, Medicham, because it's a little bit more tanky than Hitmonchan. And, yeah, able to, yeah, get hit by, he's going forward, he's going for Dragon Claw, and doesn't do much at all. You can see that bulk really coming through. Guys, if you entered this tournament, I hope you used Medicham. Really strong. Now, unfortunately, he actually gets to switch before I could charge up that Ice Punch, which is really unfortunate. I probably would have won this, because I did lose this match, the first match. I probably would have won that had I got that Ice Punch off before the Skarmory came in, unfortunately, but that's okay. He did make a good play, great play, nice one on that. So I do go ahead and switch up. I do have my charge moves ready to go, but I switch into Hitmonchan, which is actually going to do quite a bit of damage to Skarmory. Hitmonchan's not terrible against Skarmory. The only thing is it's a fighting type, which is obviously going to go down quick. So, yeah. Goodbye. I lost that one, so that was a pretty good one. So I knew for the second and third battle, or the second battle at least, because I didn't know if we were going to have a third battle, I knew I had to change my team. So I went back in and, yeah, I sorted out which Pokemon I wanted to go with. So Swampert was my choice. Melmetal I wanted, and then, yeah, I guess I went with Skarmory. Yeah, because he has a Skarmory. I need something for that Skarmory, and I do have Thundershock and Thunderbolt on my Melmetal. It was Rock Slide before this tournament, I think a couple days ago, but I switched it like a day or two ago before the tournament began because I wanted the counter to Skarmory. So, and that is a big threat to Skarmory. Plus, obviously, I mean, Thunderbolt from the Melmetal is going to do a lot of damage unless it resisted anyway to anything. So, going on against my friend Andon for the second battle in this league. I'm starting with Mushtrap. He's actually starting with Whiscash again, I guess because it did well for him. So this is basically, you know, we're stalemates at this point because I have a Swampert. He has a Whiscash, and I actually do get my charge move up first. Surf. I don't think he blocks this one. No, he doesn't block it. I mean, it's neutral, so it did relatively good damage. It wasn't like anything to go yeah about, you know, it wasn't super great, but his Water Pulse actually does a lot of damage. I was not expecting that much damage, so really showing the strength of Whiscash. Whiscash, really good option. I feel like Swampert and Marsh Chomp are a little bit better than Whiscash for this Boulder Cup. Let me know what you guys think about that. I feel yeah, charge up, I believe, slightly quicker. So, yeah, that's what I went with the Swampert. I was actually the only person with the Swampert in the tournament. Some people had Marsh Chomp, but I was the only one with a Swampert in this tournament. And, so yeah, Silph going to not quite knock it out, but I am going to be able to knock it out before he gets another charge move off. So I do take out that Whiscash, and I do have Silph fully maxed out. Now, he does have a shield, but you know, if he wants to save the Skarmory, he could use that shield. Let's see if he does. He does not actually on this one, because that's not going to do much. Yeah, Silph does not do much. Skarmory is really, really tanky. So, definitely a good Pokemon. But of course, we're going to have to switch into Melmetal at this point. And Melmetal completely, not only walls Skarmory, but it can't do, you know, it has Thunderbolt, it has Thunder Shock, so it can't do anything to Skarmory. And yeah, that Sky Attack actually did more than I thought, but it still wasn't a lot for a charge move. So Melmetal in every situation, unless we got like in the red, you know, in every other situation, Melmetal is going to beat Skarmory. But he does switch out, and you guys know I have to switch out to my Skarmory. So we're pretty much even at this point. He does get a move off. However, I know my Skarmory can tank it because of its Dragon Claw, which it is. Skarmory is going to eat that any day of the week for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Skarmory can take that. But you can't say the same for Flygon, because even though Sky Attack is neutral, it still does a whole lot of damage, and that is going to be enough to, well, he actually does get another move out off, but it's not going to be enough to KO me, so that Dragon Claw is not going to do much to me. So, we're able to knock out that Flygon just fine, and he does switch into his final Pokemon, and I still have a shield, keep in mind. Do I have both my shields or only one? I don't know, I might have both my shields, left. I think there was a game where I didn't even use a shield. That might be this game, I can't recall, but, yeah, he does get off his Sky Attack. I decided to block it, so I actually did use a shield, my bad. I didn't need to block it. I knew my Melmetal would have won had my Skarmory fainted, but I just decided to block it anyway. Just better be safe than sorry, right? He could have had an extra move on his Skarmory. I actually think he does. I'm not too sure. He might have used it in the third match, so he might have more than just Sky Attack. But I wanted to be sure. Yeah, I don't want to take any chances, you know. So that is another match down. And yeah, again, I do apologize for not having the whole tournament, the first two rounds. I recorded them. They're not in my gallery or my photo camera. I don't know why. Maybe it takes time for them to get there, so maybe they'll get there. But anyway, going back, just taking a look at his team, debating on a team that I wanted to go in with. I looked at my team. I was a little bit, yeah. I was debating on what I wanted to use. I mean, I was happy with what I went with. And I wasn't sure if he was going to go in with the same Pokemon. I was also, that's basically what I was focusing on, those three Pokemon that he used. So I decided to just keep the same team because it helped me out in the second match. I'm sorry, guys, I'm still sick. That's why I haven't recorded a video since the last Boulder Cup preparation. But anyway, starting off with Swampert, he starts off with Whiscash. This looks familiar, doesn't it? But because I was happy with how it went last time, I decided to keep the same Pokemon and keep Swampert in. I didn't want to be the first one to switch. You never want to be the first one to switch unless you absolutely have no choice. Like, if he had a Skarmory out and I had a Breloom to start with, I have to switch. There's no other, unless you want Breloom to go down, you have to switch. But you don't want to be the first one to switch, so if you can avoid it at all costs, that's why you have to really think about what you want to go with. So I do go ahead and switch into Melmetal after he switches. And I know this is either going to knock out Skarmory or he's going to block it. Of course he's going to block it. He has to block it. Sorry, guys. I am getting better. I am on medicine now. So this should go away soon. It's annoying cough, right? So he actually does have the Flash Cannon. That actually did a lot of damage to Melmetal. I was surprised at how much it did. I didn't even know he had Flash Cannon. He saved it for the last match. So good play on his end. But yeah, I forced him into his second shield. So even though I didn't knock out Skarmory just yet, I do go ahead and block just because of Flash Cannon and how much damage it did. But he uses Sky Attack. And yeah, the problem with Flash Cannon is it takes some time to charge up. That's why I don't have it. But yeah, Thunderbolt will knock out that Skarmory. And now he's down to no shields, which is, so I'm in a good position. I'm in a good position in this battle, not health-wise because I'm still sick, but I'm in a good position. So I do decide to Thunderbolt. I can't switch at this point. Actually, I could have switched, but Melmetal was almost dead, so I decided not to switch. I decided to let it go down. Yeah, I switch into Skarmory because Skarmory has a pretty good matchup against Flygon. Now, he has a charge move up, and I'm thinking Dragon Claw. It's actually Earthquake. Sorry, guys. Actually did a pretty good amount of damage. I did not expect that at all. I had no idea he had Earthquake. I thought it was just Sky Attack. Not Sky Attack, Dragon Claw. That's why I didn't block. Excuse me. But yeah, I actually blocked that one, but for some reason there was a glitch in the animation or whatever. The shield was on his side. But yeah, since he's down to no shields, Skarmory is able to get the Sky Attack off freely without worrying about him blocking it. And that actually does not knock him out, and he does get a charge move off. So that was a little bit scary. Because that is enough to knock out my Skarmory. So I switch into Swampert, so I easily knock out Whiscash, and that is the game. And yeah, that's the tournament. So I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck in your tournament. Have a good one. Bye.